Hi, Mark. Okay, so I'm gonna just as promised give you a little video here of the spreadsheet, how we customized it. And I essentially set it up with the automated version. So I'll just kind of walk you through so you can get started right away. We just set up some space for more accounts here. So these are here. Um, I tweaked a few things. I added in here your bank accounts just based on the names because those are assets, part of the balance sheet. Um, and then the main difference with this one, and there's data in here, so I'll delete this so that you can get your numbers in here. But the reason I thought that this was really going to be a better option for you is so instead of entering amounts on the month by month worksheet, all you'll do when you come in here is come to the entry worksheets for however you spent the money. So if you used your main bank account, you'll come to your entry main bank account. If you used your credit card, you come to entry main credit card. If you used your line of credit, you come to entry line of credit, and same with the tax account. All you do, they're all the same. You just start typing in, 9-1 tab, and it'll update automatically into the format. Um, the reason that it goes date, description, memo, and amount is because usually this is how things export out of your bank account. So, for example, for September, if you want to export your bank account, if you have all of your paper receipts and you want to go through those and enter those, that's great. If not, oftentimes people will export a bank account. Usually, I find bank accounts export in this order: date, description, memo, and amount. And so that's why this is set up that way. So you can just copy out of the spreadsheet. You would just go right below the title, select the area, press Control C, and that copies it. Then you just come in here, you click right here, and you press Command V or Control V on a PC, Command V on a Mac, and those will paste in. So that's an easy way to get caught up for September. Then all you do, so you just want to go through each area at a time, based on however you spent the money. And then all you're doing is choosing an account based on your list of accounts. So pretty straightforward. Your main bank account here, I was testing things. I'll show you how this works in a moment. Now, instead of fiddling around to enter things in the right column on the main spreadsheet, it will all update automatically. So after your 4 entry worksheets, these are those account reconciliation, one for your main account and one for your tax account. And your main account has your bank account as well as both of your credit cards, your credit card and your line of credit. And they're set up for a lot of accounts. You can see all that space. But what I'm going to do, I just wanted you to know it was there. I'm actually going to hide these. And then you can see those little buttons if you ever need to open it up because you add more accounts. And then I even have these groupings here. So we'll get it nice and kind of tight so you can see everything that's going on here really easily. But you can see here on the on the right, where you are going to enter all of your numbers, now it's just all populating automatically based on those entry pages. So it is personal preference, and if you prefer, the daily entering things by day on the month worksheet, I am setting I actually saved a copy of that before I updated yours to be automated. So if you want to go back to that, you just let me know if that's what you feel like you're comfortable with. Um, if you see these empty rows here, I was thinking it might be nice to separate out your income by the types of jobs. So let me just show you what's happening here. Um, so this is now updating automatically. All you do is come in here, enter the year, enter the beginning balance for September. I believe that's correct. And once you've entered all of your transactions, right, on your entry sheet for this bank account, your main bank account, everything's going to update. You can see all these numbers. That's from all the data I have in there. Bank decreases, everything's going to update. Your business you can see these on the side. It opens things up. These two lines under bank decreases, this is where you'll see your credit card payments and your line of credit payments. I presume those come out of your main bank account. If not, just let me know and I can edit it. But I think you said the tax account was only for taxes. So that's also why I linked the tax account here under bank decreases, because when you transfer money out of your main bank account, I did one right here. So this is a transfer to tax account. And so all you do on these bank pages, for the bank and for the tax account, when money goes out, you just enter a negative amount. When money comes in, you enter a positive amount. So when you transfer money out of your main bank account, you're going to make it negative, and you'll just select the tax account here. Then you'll go over to your tax account, enter the amount that came in, and select tax account. And then that's all updating over here under member contributions, or over here I have tax account linked right here under the tax account, which just that stands for transfers. That 10,000 was transferred in, so those are set up for you to enter that way. So I think it's a little easier if you have a bunch of transactions going on, and if you can get September in here and we can work out the quirks, make sure that everything's set up for you. What you want to do for the end of September, this bank reconciliation sheet for both your main account, your credit cards, which are down here, your credit card and your line of credit, as well as your tax account. This one has no credit. I'm just going to hide these rows up for you so it's all ready to go. I just wanted you to know that all of these extra rows are here so that if you add things to it, you can. And then I also grouped them so that you can easily see everything all tightened up and just open it to take a closer peek. So that's the hidden rows, these little arrows on the left, and then these are the groupings. So all of the accounts are linked to your tax account, even though you'll probably only use a couple of accounts and you may never put sales income in here. You may only transfer amounts on here. That's fine. It's just set up this way. So with both of these accounts, you want to just be sure at the end of the month that you come in here and you enter your ending bank balance. That's how you make sure that you're reconciled, and that everything's entered that happened in your bank account, and you didn't, at least miss anything that went in and out of your bank account, which is pretty much what you need for like audits, legality, and all of that. And it also helps you, of course, know that the profitability numbers you're looking at are correct. So that's it. You enter things on the entry sheet by your main bank account, your credit card account, your line of credit, and your tax account. All of these are the exact same. You can copy and paste for September if you go into your accounts online and export your statement, or you can go through your documents, enter the date, any description or memo that you would like to enter, the amount, enter negatives for negatives in the bank account, money going out, positives for money coming in. With the line of credit and the credit card, you're going to use positive amounts. That's the only thing. But that's easy, you'll get used to it. And so that's it. So you enter those amounts, everything's going to update automatically over here. The end of the month, you check your bank balance. And then for both your tax account and your main bank account here, so 28,625, if that was your ending bank account, okay, perfect, zero difference. With your credit card and your line of credit, what's happening down here is your total is at the bottom from all the transactions, and same with the credit card. Total is at the bottom with total credit card expenses, total credit. I'm going to close up all of these accounts. And then this is a running balance. So I'm presuming you were zero when you started. Essentially how this is working, I might have to help you adjust the beginning one, but let's say your end of September credit card balance was $13.99. Oh, that's gone up since I set that up. Anyways, up here under liability credit card, let's change that 260. So we'll make a payment. Like this is the amount that should match your record for a payment amount. So $13.99. Now, of course, it might depend when your bank account, when your credit card statement. So I just assumed like this is the total for September, and we can just adjust this. So do ask me about this to get it going right, and then it'll make a lot of sense. And so then this amount, if we come over to entry on the main bank account, this is going to be a payment for $13.99 for our credit card balance for, so here it was credit card balance $260. So I'm going to change this to $13.99. And that was made at the beginning of October. I was just testing kind of the different scenarios we talked about. And now if you get your numbers in here, we'll be able to get you using it and then finish some different customizations. So now you can see this credit card. Because credit card was selected from your main bank account, it automatically changed that amount to the $13.99 just by entering it there, because these are all formulas. So your October payment on your credit card was $13.99. That's a bank decrease, which is why it's in this section, but it's not a business expense. So that's why it's not under business expenses. It's not totaling here because you don't deduct that. You deduct the actual expenses, which is why your credit card has all the expenses here and different test amounts. I know you said you usually do your materials and shop materials on your credit card. All right, so then the point is, here is calculating the balance. So you paid off $13.99 here, you paid off $13.99 here. So this column in line with the credit card is calculating your balance. So this next payment of $500, I had set this example up to show you, but I was playing with the jobs calculating not profit, and I added in more expenses. So $15.39 needs to be our next payment. $15.39. Oh, that was the other one. $15.39. So because we make a credit card payment, that decreases our bank account. So we enter it into the bank account where you paid it. Credit card. Come over here. And so now $15.39 was paid in November for the October balance. You can see that this is October. October balance is $15.39. So you paid $15.39 in November. And then you can see there were no credit card expenses in November and December. And so it's calculating the balance as zero. And then you can see what happens if you don't make a payment. It continues compounding the balance up here. And these are just your totals by month. All right, so I hope that makes sense. It's the same exact thing with the line of credit down here. This is the amount of expenses spent each month, and this is your balance, because your payment just offsets your balance. When you actually have these expenses, these are the amounts that are being deducted each month. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense. I was going to do the credit card separate, but this just seemed easier. And this way, when you're choosing the accounts, you'll always have access to all of the accounts. So if you do something out of a different account, you can always have all those expenses ready to go. Okay, so we covered the 4 entry for the 4 ways that you spend money, receive money. You have the 2 calculation pages, one for your bank account with your credit card and line of credit, one for your tax account, and then first, I'll come back to that in a second. The income statement is all good, populating. It's the same thing, so I'll just hide some of these. And I'm going to try and, it's different, and we'll change those so that the zeros don't show as well. That should be simple. But this is the income statement by month. So this is summarizing everything that's on both of those, all 4 of those places, right? Your credit card, your line of credit, your main bank account, and your tax bank account. This is a summation of all of that, based on your revenue accounts, your business accounts, and then here's your net business income or loss. So at any given moment, you can see the net total here. And you can see these little zeros. If these are ever off, then something's wrong. These are checking from the totals on the other pages. They're checking totals on this page. So if you ever see a number other than 0, then something went wrong. But so here's where you'll be able to see your net income per month, and you can always close these. I'll add a grouping here so you can see it really tight, your total business income, total business expenses, net business income or loss. All right, now the last few here, I'll have to follow up on the job profit. I know we can do it. We've been working in Excel, and so there's quite a few little nuances that are different in Google Sheets. Plus, I want to just make sure that I know how you want to keep track of this, because I set this up kind of as an outline so you can take a look at this. And more importantly, when you're entering things in these entry tabs, if we come back over here, you can see that there are these 2 more columns and just an extra column for notes, which we can delete that. I mean, you do have the memo and description, which may be exported out of your bank account, but you can always rewrite on it. So I like to have as little as possible to keep it tight, but I wanted to at least leave this for now. So what this allows you to do is for any of these sheets, you can enter a client name. I did C1, C2, C3, C4 for this example, and a job name. And you can do that under your main bank account. So like this was where I put income and the GST tax, which was charged to clients on income. And then on the credit card, for materials and GST tax paid on materials. You can also select a client and a job here. On the credit card, same thing. I don't think line of credit, same thing. And the tax account, same thing. So if you want to break out payroll a little bit, you could do that. And then what this would be calculating is your gross profit by job. So, like, this is all for client one, and I gave client one two jobs, a roofing job and a remodel job. And these are kind of automated at the moment, but it's not good enough. So I just wanted to see what you thought of that setup. And maybe if you can get your September numbers in there so that from there we could play with some real numbers. The other thing that I was thinking is instead of doing clients here, would you want to um, either do the name of your client or the type of job as your sales income accounts? I think it might make it a little bit easier to review the profitability, because then you'd have sales by client or sales by type. Like, so remodel income, which you could just enter, and if you, because we can always still total it all together, even if you separate it out into these categories. But in other words, like remodel income, um, roofing income, uh, small projects income, whatever little type of categories. And that way, then we could always just use, a unique identifier um, to track the individual jobs. So, anyways, this is where it's a lot easier to set something up specifically for your exact situation. So, once I end this video, I'm going to delete all the data so that you can come in here and just enter your data for September. And then you'll see these worksheets update automatically. And you can make sure you have your right beginning bank account, your right ending bank account balance, that your credit card and line of credit balance is right. Same thing for your tax account. And then you'll be able to just review your income statement here. And from there, we can talk. I'm sure you'll have a question before then, or I'll talk to you as you go. And then we'll just work on getting a job profit report, um, which we should be able to do automatically based on that information being entered here. So I just thought that this was going to be a little less work for you than the daily worksheet, considering we would have had a daily worksheet for all four accounts. So yeah, just seemed like this would be easier. So I just went ahead and set this up. Okay, I'm going to end this video. Let me know how it goes. I look forward to hearing from you soon.